I just talked about reports that Obama is worried that Biden can't win. The relationship between these two men is really complicated. A lot of people have been saying the only person who can tell Biden to step aside is former President Obama. Not quite true.
Yeah, actually nonsense, because you're right. It's a complicated relationship. On the one hand, they are truly close. They bonded when Beau Biden was dying with that brain tumor. And Joe Biden really took, Obama really took Joe Biden under his wing. At the same time, Joe Biden has a chip on his shoulder. He's always felt that he was the Syracuse law guy, and all of Obama's people were Harvard and Yale, and they looked down on him, and that he, of course, put his finger on the scale for Hillary Clinton in 2016. So it's a fraught relationship for sure.
Yeah, if Obama were to say step aside, Biden could say, you told me to step aside in 2016, and look where that got us. You've described working with this White House on this book you wrote, this biography of Joe Biden. You've described this White House as one of the most controlling in recent memory, with a tight circle of aides who restricted access. I guess that, that sure rings true now when you measure the shock of so much of the world at seeing Biden on that debate stage.
Yeah, the DNA of this White House, Elizabeth, is controlling the narrative at all costs. So it's one of the most battened down, buttoned up, on-script White Houses in modern history. And that's not necessarily a terrible thing. I mean, it was a very effective White House with few leaks. They accomplished a lot legislatively, obviously. But now we're seeing some of the downside when you protect the president and keep him in this kind of bubble wrap. It can be shocking when he comes out and stumbles.
Yeah.
So I think that's obviously the downside.
Who's in his ear right now, Chris? Who is he listening to at this incredibly critical moment of high crisis in his campaign?
Yeah. Well, he's surrounded by family and a very close inner circle that's been with him for decades. So look, if you were to assemble a delegation to try to get Joe Biden to step aside, it would be incredibly heavy lift, but it would have to be led by Jill Biden, probably Hunter, Val, his sister, Ted Kaufman, his closest friend, with whom he used to ride on Amtrak every day.
Yeah.
And you would also need his closest advisors. That means Mike Donilon for sure, among others. You'd also need, I think, Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer, and you've got to throw in Jim Clyburn.
Yeah,
and that's
who did so much, right.
It's a pretty tall order.
You know as well as I do that when reports emerged that he was taking advice from Hunter Biden, his only living son, there was a huge, scoff across the country as people were like, you mean the guy who just got convicted of a felony, charge? Do you understand that reaction?
No, I thought it was ridiculous. I mean, he is his son. They are terribly close, and obviously he's had a very rough life. That doesn't mean that he's, some people said he was the deputy White House chief of staff. Ridiculous. I mean, it reminded me of the all hell breaking loose when Rosalind Carter sat in on a cabinet meeting in 1977.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about a deputy White House chief of staff whose family, I would say take a look at Jared Kushner, who had more clout than any of his White House chiefs.
So the real question, Chris, is Biden in a bubble of his own making? Are people around him protecting him from the reality of the trouble he's in? What do you think?
Well, he certainly has a bubble. There's no question about it. But I think that, look, he's going to be with family this weekend. I understand that at least a couple of family members are a little bit wobbly on this idea of going forward. They don't want to see him hurt and damaged. And I think that he's certainly going to be listening to a lot of people.
Thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.